Hello Army, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something a little different and really special. We're going beyond the stage performances, beyond the music videos, beyond the carefully curated idol image, and we're talking about who Jimin really is as a person. These are heartwarming facts about Jimin that show his true character, his kindness, his humanity, and all the reasons why he's not just an incredible artist but a genuinely beautiful human being. So grab some tissues because this is going to hit you right in the feels. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's talk about the real ParkJimin. Let's start with something that really shows Jimin's character, his relationship with his family, particularly his father. Jimin has always been incredibly open about how much his family means to him, and the bond he shares with his father is especially touching. His father runs a cafe in Busan called Magnate Cafe, and Jimin has mentioned multiple times how proud he is of his dad and how much he respects him. But here's what really gets me: even with his incredibly busy schedule, even when he's one of the biggest stars in the world, Jimin makes time to think about his family and show them he cares. There are stories from people who visited his father's cafe about how you can see Jimin's influence and presence there, not in a showy way, but in these small, touching details. His father apparently displays photos and keeps mementos, and when customers mention Jimin, you can see how proud but also how humble his father is. That speaks volumes about the kind of family Jimin comes from and the values he was raised with. The fact that Jimin has stayed so grounded and connected to his roots despite global fame shows real character. Now let's talk about something that consistently comes up when people who've worked with Jimin talk about him: his incredible kindness and consideration toward staff members. In an industry where some celebrities can be demanding or dismissive toward people they consider below them in the hierarchy, Jimin is apparently known for being exceptionally polite, grateful, and respectful to everyone regardless of their position. Stylists, makeup artists, camera operators, security staff, venue workers, countless people have shared stories about Jimin's kindness. These aren't just stories about him being polite or professional. These are stories about him going out of his way to thank people, to make sure they're taken care of, to check in on their well-being. There are accounts of him bringing gifts for staff members, remembering personal details about their lives and asking about them later, and treating everyone with genuine warmth and respect. In Korean culture where hierarchy is so important, and in the entertainment industry where that hierarchy can be even more pronounced, Jimin's treatment of everyone as equally deserving of respect and kindness is really remarkable. Here's another heartwarming fact about Jimin that shows who he is as a person: his dedication to comforting and supporting his members. If you watch enough BTS content, you start to notice a pattern. Whenever one of the members is struggling, having a hard time, or feeling emotional, Jimin is often right there offering comfort. He's the one who reaches out to hold someone's hand, who whispers words of encouragement, who stays close to provide silent support. And what's beautiful about this is that it's not performative or for the cameras. You can see him doing this in behind-the-scenes footage, in moments when they probably don't even realize they're being filmed. The members themselves have talked about how Jimin is emotionally intuitive and supportive. Jungkook has mentioned how Jimin took care of him when he was a young trainee feeling homesick. V has talked about how Jimin is someone he can always turn to when he needs emotional support. Even the older members have acknowledged how Jimin's emotional presence and support helps keep the group cohesive and strong. That kind of emotional labor, that constant consideration for others' feelings and needs, that's not something you can fake. That comes from genuine empathy and care. Let's talk about Jimin's humility, because this is something that really stands out about him. Despite all his achievements, despite being recognized globally as an exceptional performer and artist, despite breaking records and making history, Jimin has remained remarkably humble. He consistently deflects praise, he credits others for his success, he talks about his weaknesses and areas where he wants to improve rather than boasting about his strengths. When Like Crazy became the first song by a Korean soloist to hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, his response wasn't arrogant celebration, it was gratitude and acknowledgement of everyone who helped him achieve it. This humility extends to how he treats other artists as well. Junior idols who've met Jimin talk about how he makes them feel comfortable, how he offers encouragement and support rather than acting superior despite his senior status and massive success. He bows deeply to seniors in the industry, he shows respect to peers, and he's kind to juniors. In an industry that can sometimes breed ego and competition, Jimin's consistent humility is refreshing and speaks to his character. Here's something really touching that shows Jimin's thoughtfulness, his relationship with ARMY, and how he expresses care for fans. Yes, all idols show appreciation for their fans, but there's something different about how Jimin does it. He frequently posts on Weverse late at night, and if you read those posts, they're not just generic thank you messages. He talks about hoping fans are taking care of themselves, eating well, not working too hard, staying healthy. He shares his own struggles and vulnerabilities in a way that lets fans know it's okay to not be okay sometimes. During live broadcasts, Jimin often talks directly about mental health, about the importance of self-care, about loving yourself. And you can tell it's not just lip service, he genuinely cares about the well-being of the people who support him. There are countless stories from fans about how Jimin's words or presence helped them through difficult times, gave them strength when they needed it, or simply made them feel less alone. That's a beautiful impact to have on people's lives. Let's talk about Jimin's work ethic, but not just in terms of practicing and perfecting performances. What's heartwarming about Jimin's dedication to his craft is the reason behind it. He's not a perfectionist because he wants to show off or prove he's better than others. He works as hard as he does because he genuinely loves performing and wants to give the best possible experience to people who come to see BTS or listen to his music. He talks about performing as a form of communication and connection with the audience, not as a way to receive praise or admiration. This perspective on his work shows real maturity and beautiful values. He understands that his talent and his platform are gifts that come with responsibility, and he takes that responsibility seriously, not out of obligation but out of genuine care for the people his art reaches. That's the mindset of someone who sees art as service, as a way to give something meaningful to the world, not just as a way to achieve personal success or fame. Another beautiful aspect of who Jimin is as a person is his emotional openness and vulnerability. In a culture and an industry where showing weakness or struggle is often discouraged, especially for men, Jimin has been remarkably open about his challenges, his insecurities, his difficult moments. He's cried on camera, he's talked about his struggles with self-doubt and perfectionism, he's been honest about the pressure and difficulty of idol life. And this openness is actually a gift to others because it gives permission for people to be honest about their own struggles. By being vulnerable, by showing that even someone as successful and talented as him faces challenges and difficult emotions, Jimin helps break down stigma around mental health and emotional struggle. He makes it okay to not be perfect, to have bad days, to need support. That takes real courage and comes from a place of wanting to genuinely connect with and help others. Finally, let's talk about something that really encapsulates who Jimin is, his capacity for joy and playfulness despite everything he's been through. Even with all the pressure, the challenges, the difficulties of his journey, Jimin has maintained this ability to find joy in small things, to be playful and silly, to laugh and enjoy moments with his members and with fans. That resilience, that determination to find happiness and share it with others even when things are hard, that's a beautiful quality that shows real strength of character. So there you have it, ARMY heartwarming facts about Jimin that show who he really is beyond the idol image. He's kind, humble, emotionally intelligent, hard-working for the right reasons, vulnerable in ways that help others, and resilient in his pursuit of joy. These aren't just nice qualities, these are the characteristics of someone who's genuinely trying to be a good person and make a positive impact on the world around him. Let me know in the comments what you love most about Jimin as a person, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.